ChatGPT is an example of a generative AI application which has widespread uses like chat completion, speech to text, etc. In this video, we will use Spring Boot to invoke ChatGPT API for image generation. We'll be using a Java community library as referred to on the OpenAI website. In my previous video, Understanding ChatGPT API, I have covered the ChatGPT API concepts, the request and response structures, and how to modify the request parameters to return response as per our preferences, like the length of the return response, how focused the response should be, etc. Please refer to it if you are not aware of those concepts. First, let me go to openai.com website. Click on Developers and then Documentation. Click on the libraries link on the left. There are libraries for Python, Node, and Azure, but for the rest of the languages, there are some community libraries. Let's scroll down to Java and click on OpenAI by Theo Canning. It brings us to the GitHub page where Theo has code, documentation, and examples. We can also implement calling the API with Java code from scratch using REST template, and maybe I'll create a video with that approach too. But using this library abstracts a lot of that work and makes development very easy. You can see the Maven dependency for bringing in Theo's library. Let's Google com.theocanning.openai Maven to get the latest version. Let's click on this link and then Service. Here is the latest version 0.14. Click on it and copy the Maven dependency. Next, let's start generating our Spring Boot project. Go to start.spring.io, choose Maven, artifact name is ChatGPT Spring Boot. Click Add Dependencies, type Web and choose Spring Web. Click Generate. It downloads a zip file. Let's unzip it. And here are the contents of the zip file, the familiar Maven structure. Here I have IntelliJ open. Let's click Open, navigate to the folder where we extracted the zip file and click Open. Click Trust Project. Here is our project. Expand source and we see the main Java class which was generated for us. Let's go to the pom.xml file and paste the Maven dependency we saw earlier over here. Now right click on the package and choose New Java class. Name is myController. Let's go to the application.properties file and let me paste a property openai.api.key which you can obtain from your account. Please watch my video Understanding ChatGPT API if you want to see how to obtain it. Let's go back to myController and mark it as a REST controller. Next, with the value annotation, let's bring in the openai.api.key property in a private string API key variable. Now, let's create a get mapping to the /image endpoint. Create a method public string image which takes in a request param of type string as prompt. Next, using OpenAI service, which we brought in using the Maven dependency for com.theocanning.openai, create a variable service as new OpenAI service taking in the API key. Next, let's create image request as new create image request. Let's set the prompt to the request as the passed in prompt. Let's invoke request.setSize to set the image size as 1024 by 1024. Next, let's create a variable of type image as image and invoke the ChatGPT API image API by calling service.createImage, passing in the request object, then call getData, and then passing in index at 0. Return image.getURL. Looks like I forgot to put the $sign in the value annotation to obtain the property value. Alright, let's click on the Run menu and then Edit Configurations. I have created a new configuration, my run configuration, which calls the main Spring Boot method. Click OK. Now let's run the app. It starts successfully. Go to the browser and type http localhost 8080 slash our image endpoint and the prompt flying unicorn for ChatGPT to generate that image for us. ChatGPT responds with a URL for the image it has generated. Let's copy the URL, paste it in the browser, and here is our flying unicorn ChatGPT has generated. Pretty cool. In this video, we created a new Spring Boot app. Using the com.theocanning.openai Maven dependency, we invoked the image completion API and received a generated image as a response. Thanks for watching.